Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So XRP going up, going down. After seeing this fairly long bullish candlestick here for XRP on the daily, I was hoping that we would continue that trend upward. Unfortunately, we are now seeing a couple of down days, albeit not as bad as we have seen in the past. So we are now seeing a sustained upward trend. I've just changed the chart to the 4-hour. As you guys can see, we did see a big move to the upside over the last day or so. And then the market kind of cooled down. Now, this isn't exclusive to XRP. The rest of the crypto market is also taking a bit of a breather at the moment. Currently, the price of one XRP is going for around $2.65. So we've slumped down a little bit. But by and large, guys, this is pretty much just a sideways trading channel. As you guys can see, not too much movement over the last few days. For any particular cryptocurrency, if I bring up the total 3 chart here, so this is all cryptocurrencies excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, we did see that significant pump to the upside, a retracement to that high. We did come back down, slipping a little bit, but now we're just kind of trading sideways, ultimately now trying to break up against these former levels of support. So at the moment, altcoins and the crypto market cooling off. Of course, we do have to pay attention to what Bitcoin does first in order to see a sustained move to the upside. Now, Bitcoin's actually been doing better, I think, overall compared to the rest of the crypto market. Yesterday, Bitcoin was trading in around $97,000 per coin. And today, we're actually getting up a little higher, 98.1, so $98,100. Of course, that new all-time high of $109,000 for one BTC does need to be broken. And ideally, what would be great is if we could actually form some support above that former level of resistance before we see another move to the upside. There are still several months left, of course, in 2025. We are hoping that 2025 is going to continue to be bullish, and all signs are pointing to yes, the tailwinds. Those factors are certainly pointing that way. Anyway, we've got fear and greed right now at 42, so that is inching up by a little bit. But Bitcoin dominance still holding on at 60%. We might actually see this Bitcoin dominance number go up before it goes down. So be prepared for that too. Market isn't moving too much, but today it is in the green. Market cap almost up by another percentage point, and volume is up by 0.83. So a mix, pretty much a mix, red and green today. Some cryptocurrencies up, some are down. A fairly neutral day. It's been pretty much the same thing for the last little while. And if you guys are getting a little bored in this crypto cycle, you should remember that those euphoria phases do happen in short spurts, and even more so in this cycle than they have in the past. This coming from CryptoCon here on Twitter. Unlike previous cycles, almost all of the good price action in this one has been made in very short bursts. To demonstrate this, I've taken what Bitcoin would have looked like without any short expansion bursts, which is shown in the bottom. Almost completely sideways this entire cycle. So what he is demonstrating here, and we kind of get this point for, if you guys have been in the space for a while, this is generally the case. You're waiting for 90% of the time, and that 10% is when we get really excited, and that happens in short increments. So in 2023, here's what we saw, right? 192 days. I'm just going to start in and around here. 192 days with a bit of an uptick. Before that, 29 days, and then we saw a 43-day uptick. Then another 62 days sideways trading with 34 days of excitement. And then this was really boring, 238 days of sideways trading all the way from March up until, fairly recently, early November 2024. Then we saw that big spurt up for 38 days, another sideways trading channel, 67 days. And now, guys, what is going to happen? And this 67 days could actually last longer. That is what we're currently in today. So down here, he shows the price with expansion bursts excluded. So this would be what the Bitcoin chart would look like if we did get rid of all these upward movements. Very boring looking, doesn't it? The total range time, 1.66 years versus 5.76 months if we were to break down those numbers. So interesting to see that in terms of, the reality of what the market does. Even though we've spent about 6 months of our 2+ years since the bull market expanding, only about a month of that included nearly all of the good price action. So you've spent about 96, so I said 90%. You've spent about 96% of this cycle waiting, and the other 4%, which includes all the big green candlesticks, only the patient survive to see the good stuff. And so I could not agree more. Wanted to thank CryptoCon for posting that. Ali Chart's also bringing this to our attention, guys. XRP is gearing up for a breakout from this ascending triangle, which could trigger a 26% price move. So, that's another formation on the XRP chart that we could look at here. that ascending triangular pattern. And again, XRP has been in a bit of an interesting spot. We did see that dip down, a huge, massive liquidity event, for the entire crypto space. Did really get the XRP price down. Now, I think it was because it was overbought. The euphoria really did kind of help that. XRP was the best performing cryptocurrency for a short period of time in that situation. And so here's what we are formulating now, guys. We're basically formulating this triangular pattern, and there's only a little bit more before hopefully we break out to the upside. And I mean, this could break out at any point. I don't know where he's getting these numbers here, 26% move. Anything could happen. And a lot of this is going to be dictated by U.S. regulation and by what happens in the U.S. market, because we know the United States' largest region of the world for crypto trading. That would be in terms of volume. Here's the timeline coming from Smoke. Okay, introduction, the Trump administration approach. So timeline provided by Trump's executive order. So within 30 days of the date of the executive order, so by February 22nd, 2025, agency heads, including the Department of Justice, SEC, and U.S. Department of Treasury, must identify all regulations, guidance, documents, orders, or other items that affect the digital asset sector. So guys, that's coming up very soon. That would be tomorrow if you guys are watching this on the day that I'm releasing it. Within 60 days of the date of the executive order, so that would be March 24th, each agency that is including in the working group must submit to the chair recommendations with respect to whether each identified regulation, guidance, document, order, or other item should be rescinded, modified, or for items other than regulations adopted in a regulation. And then we have 180 days of the executive order, so by July of 2025, July 22nd to be exact, the working group must submit a report to the president, which shall recommend regulatory and legislative proposals that advance the policies established. So guys, that is what we're waiting for. Further into 2025, I think we're going to see more moves for cryptocurrency based on this U.S. regulation. Meanwhile, Ripple partners are continuing to expand like Thunes, guys. They are a confirmed Ripple partner. Their proprietary network is now the only real-time alternative to legacy systems for sending payments to bank accounts in Taiwan. So with regards to Thunes in Asia, Thunes, the smart superhighway to move money around the world. Today, they announced their expansion to their direct global payments network in Taiwan. This expansion brings Thunes' pay-to-banks payment capabilities to Taiwan, enhancing the company's cross-border payment services in one of Asia's most technologically advanced and financially dynamic markets. So with this expansion, members of Thunes' global direct network can now provide their customers with real-time payout services into Taiwan in both new Taiwan dollars and United States dollars. This solution supports all major banks in Taiwan and enables real-time payments to both individuals and business bank accounts. Taiwan is a key hub for international trade and finance, with strong demand for efficient cross-border payments. According to recent data in January of 2025, Taiwan's total exports amounted to $38.7 billion, representing a 4.4% increase. The Taiwan Institute of Economic Research's forecast for Taiwan's 2025 gross domestic product growth is 3.42%, citing positive factors including increasing investments, solid private consumption, and stronger exports. So Taiwan is obviously benefiting from this, leveraging DLT technology, obviously making these cross-border payments more seamless because we know Thunes is a Ripple partner. So running over the XRP ledger. And this is one of, what did it say right at the beginning here? The expansion. This is enhancing the company's cross-border payment services in one of Asia's most technologically advanced and financial dynamic markets. So it bodes well for this type of technology to already be up and running. And it is up and running in many places in the Middle East, in Southeast Asia, some parts of Europe as well. The United States still been dragging their feet, but guys, we're going to get there very soon. In Africa, too, I should mention that Flutterwave upgrades their Send app for global transfers and FX exchange. So Flutterwave is, I believe they're originally a Nigerian company. They have introduced a major upgrade to their Send app, integrating currency exchange capabilities and international money transfers. The new features powered by Swap allow users to convert Nigerian naira into foreign currencies and send money across borders, all with a single platform. So not even just for cross-border remittances, but even just being able to swap money in one fell swoop using XRP as that bridge currency. SendUp now serves as an all-in-one platform for users in Nigeria who need to exchange currency and transfer money internationally, whether sending funds to family members abroad, paying for international services, or conducting business transactions. The upgraded app provides a simple, secure, and reliable solution. Here, they're mentioning a one-stop solution for global payments. So, a lot of these apps really do manage to solve several problems very well. I mean, if you want to send money from one country to another, the conversion happens right there. It happens in the background, leveraging XRP. If you hold a balance of a particular particular currency and you want to exchange that balance to another currency, well, that's basically the same process and it will stay in your account. And so for all these people who are dealing in different currencies, whether they're migrants sending money home or whether it's business people doing a lot of international business, this is a great solution for those people. And all these different countries, have their own kind of national company that has already adopted XRP, leveraging the XRP ledgers. So as we know, there are already a lot of companies that are partnered with Ripple. Nigeria's foreign exchange market has been marked by significant volatility. So that's the other thing, right? When you do have volatility, you might want to exchange funds quickly, efficiently, and cheaply so as to protect yourself from these fluctuations. And so with the Naira experiencing frequent fluctuations against major global currencies, these fluctuations have been driven factors such as oil prices, inflationary pressures, and shifts in monetary policy. So it can also help protect against those types of things. And I'm finding that a lot more people are realizing this. So they're leveraging the technology to be able to transfer funds, whether it is for themselves, moving their money somewhere else. It does help to protect against these types of global currency fluctuations. So another solution there for a problem that the XRP ledger can solve for. So some great news there, both from Thunes and Flutterwave, who are two Ripple partners. The institutional money will come in as we see more ETF products. And guys, we're quickly on our way there. Grayscale's XRP ETF apparently has officially been posted to the Federal Register. So all this means is that the clock starts ticking now for the SEC to engage and either approve or deny it before October the 18th. So that is the drop dead date. This courtesy of Eleanor Turret. Here's a bit of a description here. XRP compares XRP ledger data, including recent transaction information across the XRP network. Summary of an XRP transaction prior to engaging in XRP transactions directly on the XRP ledger. A user generally must first install all of its computer or mobile device an XRP network software program that will allow the user to generate a private key. I guess this is just a description of what the XRP network is. We all know what that is at this point, I would hope. But I guess for the purpose of the ETF, they do have to explain why the cryptocurrency maybe does have value, giving a bit of a description there as to what purpose. Why would investors decide to hold XRP? So I think that's great. I think for these types of institutional products, it would bode well if they had to kind of prove their value. So we're not seeing meme coin ETFs being approved. And I'm kind of interested to see what happens with, because I thought that there were Dogecoin filings for an ETF, and Dogecoin, I mean, it's pretty much a baby Bitcoin. Was created around the same time, not really used for anything. It was kind of the official first meme coin, I guess you could argue. But anyway, here's what we have for XRP. 5x in tokenized T-bills by the end in 2025. So here's another prediction, guys, by Austin King. He was recently speaking on this news broadcast. We are already seeing tokenized T-bills on the XRP ledger. Austin King is the CEO of OmniLabs, and here's what he has to say about what the future could hold for more tokenization of, for example, T-bills in the future.
So I do think by the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if we doubled, tripled, maybe even went like 5x in tokenized treasury bills. I do think we'll see kind of the first deployments of bonds and equities. There's a number of companies across the space that are working on this at large right now. So I think we're going to scale up in the existing assets that are tokenized and on-chain today. And I do think we'll kind of see the first like alpha deployments of these kind of wider asset classes like bonds and equities.
So it is really going to depend on those executive orders. And if we stick to the timeline, if we do get more adoption for cryptocurrency hopefully by the summer, according to this post here from Smoke. Anyway, wanted to thank Omni Network there, Eleanor Turret, and Smoke, of course, for posting those. And then, guys, we have the Grayscale snapshot. They just put this out yesterday. As of February the 20th, 2025, here's the one-week return for the top 10 crypto assets. Guys, in number one spot, XRP. Return to date, 30.3%. Market cap at 145.6 billion. Return percentage over 1 week, 6.4. So look at that. You compare them to all these other cryptocurrencies like Tron, Ethereum, Stellar, Bitcoin, Cardano, Chainlink, Binance Coin, Doge, and Solana. And the return year to date doesn't even compare. I mean, the next largest return is only Bitcoin by 5.5%. That's actually quite surprising. Some of these are actually in the negative. But guys, we're only almost 2 months into this year. I think a lot could still change. However, XRP looking like the clear winner, so much so that the CIO of Bitwise, Matt Hougan, says there is a substantial demand for an XRP ETF. This courtesy of Subjective Views. Here's what he said on CNBC. Listen to this.
Okay, one more thing before we go. We saw earlier this week that the SEC formally acknowledged Bitwise's application for spot XRP ETF. Now, I know you can't talk about the specific application, but I'm wondering if you can talk about what you've heard in terms of demand for an XRP ETF in particular. Obviously, there was less demand for an ETH ETF than a Bitcoin one, but there is increasing adoption. So what's the scope look like for an XRP fund?
Yeah, I would say two things on that front, without talking about the Bitwise filing specifically, as you mentioned. One, I think there's substantial demand for an XRP ETF. XRP has had a sustained community for an extremely long period of time. It's an asset that trades significantly on centralized exchanges. I think people would love to find a way to hold it in a simple, low cost, easy to use ETP structure. And I will say the second piece is the SEC is much more receptive to discussions under the new administration than they were in the past. In the previous administration, the door would simply be shut. There was no way to discuss things like staking or in-kind or maybe new assets. I think, and I can tell you that has completely changed. They're much more open to dialogue. So I'm optimistic we're going to see, XRP ETFs, Solana ETFs. I think the killer app in this space will actually be an index-based ETF. I think a lot of people want to just make a generalized bet on crypto, and I'm hopeful we get that at the end of this year as well.
I have no doubt that people are going to get excited once we do see this market rally. I mean, Matt Hougan is super bullish, particularly on an XRP ETF, not really changing from what he was saying a few months ago, and I wanted to remind you guys of this. I know I mentioned this clip on the channel then. He said, I think if we fast forward a year in the future, you will see XRP unleashed. So staying consistent with that thought.
So Matt, there's a whole army that wants me to ask you about the XRP spot ETF you guys filed even before the election, which was amazing. Why did you guys decide to do it and the timing and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's first talk about the asset before I talk about the filing. XRP is an asset that has sustained and proven itself over a long period of time. It has a very strong community and very strong technology underneath. From my point of view, we haven't seen what it can do because the company Ripple has been engaged in this difficult lawsuit with the SEC, which is sort of like trying to operate with two arms tied behind your back. I think if we fast forward a year into the future, if we get positive developments in that space, you'll see XRP unleashed. What can it do in the market? It's proven its technology. It has a unique approach to the market. It has a strong community behind it. It has liquidity. It has interest from traditional Wall Street firms. We saw that with SocGen, expanding their stablecoin onto the ledger earlier this week. I think it's a really interesting idea. Like, what can this asset do if it is unleashed? So that's sort of the investment thesis without going too deep into the ways it's sort of iterating and developing. And then, from a filing perspective, again, constrained with what I can say, but I've said this before every time we file, which is that Bitwise doesn't file for fun. We file because we think there is a pathway to launch a product. We're not always right. We filed for a Bitcoin ETF for 5 years before we eventually got there. So take that with that grain of salt. But the reason we filed is because we thought there was a pathway to get it launched. Otherwise, we wouldn't have filed. And we're excited to continue to pursue that in 2025, particularly with the new administration.
So this is where we're at, guys. Sounds like Matt Hougan sticking to the plan. There will be substantial demand for an XRP ETF. And when there is, we are going to see prices rise. That's just my opinion. And for more opinions on what I think this bull run holds for us XRP holders and, crypto holders in general, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Again, just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.